Hello student. So after completion of the liver, let's see the extrabiliary apparatus. So extrabiliary apparatus that collects the bile from liver, then it store and transmit the bile into the second part of the duodenum. This is the main function of the extrabiliary apparatus. The extrabiliary apparatus that includes the right and left hepatic duct, then the common hepatic duct, then the gallbladder, then the cystic duct and the bile duct. So these are the structures or the 5 structures which is included into the extrabiliary apparatus. So let's start the details of this structure. So this is the extrabiliary apparatus. So the extrabiliary apparatus collects the bile from the liver and then stores into that the gallbladder and transmit to the second part of the duodenum. So here you can see that is the duodenum, and the gallbladder, you know, that should be present into that the liver. So that is from the liver the two duct are comes out, that is called the hepatic duct, right and left hepatic duct. Then this duct, they should be joined to form the common hepatic duct. So here you can see, then it is joins with that the cystic duct. Here you can see that is the gallbladder. So throughout this the bile that should be comes, and that is enters into that the gallbladder. Here that the bile that should be concentrated, and whenever that is the need fatty food is enters into that the duodenum, so in that time that the gallbladder it is contracted, and the bile which is present into that the gallbladder, it should be then enters into that the bile duct, and then that should be poured into that the second part of the duodenum. So that is called the extrabiliary apparatus. So that include the common, that is the hepatic duct, right and left hepatic duct, then the common hepatic duct, this one, then gallbladder, this one, then the cystic duct and the bile duct. So these are the structure which is included into that the extra hepatic biliary apparatus. Then firstly we should have to see that is the right and left hepatic duct. So these two ducts that should be emerges from the liver of both right lobe and the left lobe, and that should be comes out or emerges from the porta hepatis of the liver. Then the common hepatic duct. So it is formed by the union of the right and left hepatic duct near to the right end of the porta hepatis, and it runs downwards. So here you can see it runs downwards about 3 centimeter, joined to the right side by the cystic duct to form the bile duct, this one. After then we should have to see that is the gallbladder. So let's see the detailed structure of the gallbladder. So here you can see that is the gallbladder. So gallbladder, it is the pear shaped reservoir of bile situated into that the fossa on the inferior surface of right lobe of the liver. Then fossa of the gallbladder extends from the right end of the porta hepatis to the inferior border of the liver. So here you can see that is the lower part, that is the fundus of that is the gallbladder, which is present into that the fossa for the gallbladder on the posterior inferior surface of the liver. So that is the anterior surface of the liver, and here only the part of the fundus it should be seen. And into that this another diagram, this is the posterior inferior surface of the gallbladder. Here that is the gallbladder it should be present, and this is near to right side of that is the porta hepatis. After then we should have to see that is the length of the gallbladder. So for this another diagram. So here in this diagram you can see that is the gallbladder. So the length is near about 7 to 8 centimeter, that is total length, 3 centimeter broad, and the capacity of that is the gallbladder, that is near about 30 to 50 ml. Then the external features, so that consist of the parts of the gallbladder. So it include the fundus, this one large part, then that is the body and the neck, this one. So let's see, that is the fundus of the gallbladder. So here in this diagram you can see clearly that is the fundus of that is the gallbladder, this one. So it projects, the fundus of the gallbladder, it projects beyond to the left border of the liver, and it is entirely surrounded by the peritoneum. So this part that is totally covered by the peritoneum, and it is related anteriorly by the anterior abdominal wall and posteriorly by the posterior part of the transverse colon. So here you can see in this diagram, that is the transverse colon or the hepatic flexure of the transverse colon. Then after then we should have to see that is the body. So that is the remaining part of that is the gallbladder. So the body, it lies fossa for the gallbladder of liver, and the upper narrow end of it continuous with the neck. So here you can see it is continue with the neck at the right end of the porta hepatis. The superior surface, it is devoid of the peritoneum. So this one that is devoid of the peritoneum and adherent to that the liver. And the inferior surface, it is covered with that the peritoneum. So this one that is covered with the peritoneum and it is related with the transverse colon. So here you can see. And the first and the second part of the duodenum. So here you can see this is the first part and this is the second part of the duodenum. After then the bile duct. After then let's see that is the neck. So this one. So neck, it is the narrow in the upper end of the gallbladder situated to the right end of the porta hepatis. It first curve antero-superiorly. So here you can see that is the curveness, and the postero-inferiorly it become continuous with the cystic duct. So here that duct, it is called the cystic duct. The junction is slight constriction. Superiorly the neck is attached to the liver by the areolar tissue in which the cystic vessels are embedded, and inferiorly this part, it is related, so the first part of the duodenum. So here you can see. Then the mucous membrane of the neck. So this one, the mucous membrane of the neck is folded spirally to present the obstruction to the inflow and cut flow of the bile. So here in the another diagram you can see that is here it can show that is the fold of present which is present spirally. Then the posteromedial wall of the neck, it is dilated outward to form a pouch. It is called the Hartmann pouch. So here you can see this dilated part, this one. So it can seen or forming that the pouch like structure. So it is called the Hartmann pouch, which is dilated, directed downwards and backwards, and gallstones, whenever that is the calculus or the stones, it should be formed. So these stones may be lodged in this that pouch. So that is called the Hartmann pouch. After then we should have to see that is the cystic duct. So this one. So cystic duct, it is 3 to 4 centimeter long and begins from the neck of the gallbladder, runs downwards, backwards to the left end by joining to that the common hepatic duct. So here you can see it is joins with the common hepatic duct to form that is the bile duct, this one. So it is called the bile duct. The mucous membrane forms 5 to 12 concentric folds which are arranged spirally called the valves of the Helster. So interior side of the cystic duct, here you can see it shows that is near about
that the 5 to 12 Crescentric fold, and this fold it is called the spiral valve of Helster. Then we should have to see that is the bile duct. So this one, that is the bile duct. So the bile duct, it is formed by the union of cystic duct and the common hepatic duct. So here you can see this is the cystic duct and the common hepatic duct. It should be joined, and it should be joined near to that the porta hepatis. The length of that is the bile duct, it is near about 8 centimeter long and 6 mm in diameter. So that is the common hepatic duct. After then we should have to see that is the structure of gallbladder, means that is the histology of the gallbladder. So that is the wall of the gallbladder that consists of the 4 layers. That is outermost layer, it is the serous layer of the peritoneum. Then the second layer, it is the subserous layer which is made by the areolar tissue. Third layer, it is the fibromuscular layer. So this fibromuscular layer of the fibrous tissue mixed with the smooth muscle fibers which are arranged in loose bundle deposited in longitudinal, circular and the oblique direction. And the innermost layer, that is the mucous membrane, it is loosely connected with the fibrous layer and it is elevated into minute ruggi, which gives a honeycomb like appearance. So here that is the small opening are interior of the gallbladder, they are present and it is seen like the honeycomb appearance. The epithelium lining consists of a single layer of tall columnar cells. So that is the histology of the gallbladder. After then we should have to see that is the arterial supply of the gallbladder. So here in this diagram you can see that is the arterial supply.